ever feel set out like the trash? I have, and I'll tell you one or two of those stories here in a minute. But maybe for you, it was your marriage. You fell in love and you stood before all your friends and family and you promised and she promised and said, they said, I do. She said, I do. And you said, I do. And they did for a while until they didn't want to anymore. And somewhere along the line, felt set aside. You felt tossed out. Or maybe it wasn't your marriage, maybe it was your work. And it happened to you as it happened to me one time where I showed up for work about 9 a.m. in the morning on a Monday morning and came home about 10 unemployed. And I felt tossed aside. And maybe you felt something like that. Maybe it was just the natural result of retirement. And you always look forward to retirement. You worked hard and you sweated and you struggled and you complained about it and you look forward to retirement. And then you retired and you feel like, what am I here for? What am I doing? What is my purpose? I've got a lady in my church that's now in a skilled nursing home, and I go by and see her 2 or 3 times a week. And her room is in the very end of the hall, and so I walk by several people, quite a number of people, as I walk down the hall, and I can tell you, if I can read their minds, I think many of them feel set aside. They don't have a pastor who comes by 2 or 3 times a week. They don't have a daughter like my church member has who comes by many times a week, and they feel set aside. And it occurs to me as I was thinking about this that there's something worse than we tend to think that the worst of thing is to be criticized, to be condemned, to be put down. But I think the worst of thing is not to be criticized or condemned or put down. The worst of things is simply to be ignored. Anybody who's worked with children knows that sometimes when children feel ignored, when they can't get attention, they will act out and they will put up with being disciplined because they cannot stand being ignored. They cannot stand feeling like they are set aside. And so we're going to read today the story of an unknown, unnamed, anonymous writer who felt set aside. Here's our key verse. Because of your great wrath, he feels set aside not by man, not by a wife, not by an employer, but feels set aside by God himself. Because of your great wrath, you have taken me up and thrown me aside. And we don't know for sure who this guy is, why he's writing.